So if you're a man who complains about women, genuinely hates women, I'm going to tell you how to stop doing that because it's not healthy. And this is what I've noticed on the internet. The men who complain about women and hate them are the men who can't attract them. And I don't know what these guys don't understand, but you don't choose who you're attracted to. Right? We can agree with that. So if a woman is not finding you attractive, it's not her fault. So hating the woman is not going to do anything. Like you could, like what you should be doing, you could take responsibility. Okay, maybe I'm not that attractive, whatever. You can do whatever you can to improve. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing anything. You can do like whatever you can do that. But if you like a lot of these men that I see, they hate and complain about women are just the men who can't really attract women. So because they can't attract women, they hate them. I remember reading things like this on the internet, right? That I went up to a woman, I approached a woman, and she rejected me, so she doesn't deserve to be happy. And I'm like, what kind of person would even say that? Like I said earlier, attraction is not a choice. You do not choose who you're attracted to. So I hope that at least like in some way it helps change this change this thinking in your mind that it's not the woman's fault for not finding you attractive. Second, a lot of these men that complain about women and hate them complain about this specific thing that like certain things they wouldn't want in a woman, like certain kind of women that you wouldn't be with, right? And I can totally understand if you discuss this. Like we can discuss that a certain kind of woman you wouldn't want to be with, totally understandable, nothing wrong with that. But the way they're talking about it, it's not really discussing it, it's more like complaining. And it's coming from this hatred, and you can tell, right? And it's not healthy. You don't want to be this kind of person who has a hatred towards, I mean, hatred in general towards anything is not good because it takes energy out of you, right? But these men that I see, they complain about women, and the things that they complain about is like what I don't like in a woman, right? They will complain about things like that oh, this woman is like that, this or like I won't like this, like I don't like this woman, or a certain woman was like this I was in a relationship with, and they're going to be that certain trait or whatever they didn't like in a woman, and they're going to be complaining about it. And it's funny because like I said, you can discuss things, you don't have to complain about them, right? And one thing I don't understand, right? Yes, certain kind of women you don't want to be with, which you complain about. The fact that you're complaining, what is that gonna do? What is complaining gonna do? Because, okay, certain kind of women you wouldn't want to be with, right? But what is complaining gonna do? Because, let's say, I mean, certain kind of women I wouldn't be with, right? So a woman is, let's say, is very immature, or she's rude to people, or she looks down on homeless people, right? Stuff like that. I wouldn't be with a woman like that, right? And if I were to encounter a woman like that, I wouldn't be complaining about it, like, why are you like this? Or whatever, like things like that. Or if I were to be in a relationship with a woman like that, which I wouldn't be in the first place. But let's say I am in a relationship, but then I don't know what kind of person this is, right? But then I see this is this kind of person. Okay, because you don't really know what kind, like if you're in a relationship with someone in the beginning, you don't really know who this kind of person, like what is this, who is this person, you don't really know them, right? But as you get to know them, right? So let's say I get to know the woman, and let's say she's this kind of person, she's rude, right? She let's say she's disrespectful, and she's immature, and she's just not the kind of woman you would want to be with, right? So what I would do, I would just not be with the woman. But I wouldn't then I would then I wouldn't be with the woman. But what I would not do is I'm not gonna come here on the internet and complain about it. Okay, I was with this woman, and then she was just like this. She was disrespectful. She was immature. She was this and she was that. I'm not gonna do that because here's the thing, right? There are different kind of people in the world, different kind of women in the world, and you will encounter different kind of people. So if you encounter a woman like that, a woman who you wouldn't want to be with, what you do is you're not going to be with the woman like that. So I don't understand, why are you going to talk about a woman like that when you're not going to be with the woman? Because what you're doing is you're focusing on a woman, like you're focusing on the women who you wouldn't be with. Because but then again, I totally understand, talking about it is understandable, that I wouldn't be with certain kind of woman, blah blah blah. But you're complaining, you're not talking about it. So yeah, like, and a lot of these guys talk about this, that if a woman is disrespectful to them, or blah blah blah, like there can be different cases for if that is happening, right? So let's say the woman is disrespectful, maybe it's because you don't have any boundaries, right? Because you should always look at yourself, like you should take responsibility for things. And obviously I'm not saying that if a woman is disrespectful, that it's like I'm not saying that it's not the woman's fault. That's not what I'm saying. But do you have boundaries? What if you're the one who is not respectable? And let's say you are someone who's respectable, and let's say you are someone who has boundaries, right? And the woman is still disrespectful. You know what you would do? You would just leave. You wouldn't complain. And you wouldn't come here on the internet and complain about it. You understand what I mean? Because if a woman is genuinely disrespectful towards you, it's understandable people can be like that. You leave them. That's what you would do, right? You're not going to come here on the internet and complain. You understand what I mean? So all of this complaining is pointless. It's not going to do anything. You're wasting your time. So it doesn't matter what you complain about. It doesn't matter what thing you pick. Like, like if a woman was after your money, whatever. If a woman cheated on you, whatever. Listen, if a woman cheated on you, right? There are different kind of people in the world. Just some people are a certain way and they will just do certain kind of things. Like some people will cheat, some people won't. You understand? So some people that will cheat, they will just cheat. So this is just how I think, right? Some people that will cheat, they will cheat, and you can't expect anything else from them. So some people who won't do that, they just won't do that. This is just how I think, right? So let's say I was in a relationship with a woman, and I trusted her, blah blah blah, and she cheats on me, right? This is what I would do. I would just say, have a nice life, blah blah blah. I'm not going to look for explanations, because if someone cheats on you, it's not done, like it's not done by accident, obviously. So you don't need really any explanation. But then but yeah, you wouldn't need any explanation. So this is just what I would do. That I would just end the relationship right then, at that time, right? At that, you get the point. You end the relationship, right? But then what I would not do is, I would not think this, just because this woman cheated on me, I'm not going to think this, that all women are cheaters, right? I'm not going to start hating women. You understand what I mean? I'm not going to come here on the internet and complain all of this, oh, this woman that I was with, she cheated on me, blah blah blah. I'm not going to do that. And what's funny is, if you actually do something like this, and if you think this way, that you hate women, you complain about women, right? You're going to be going to these online, maybe it depends what it is. Maybe it's YouTube. You can see, like, it happens in YouTube videos, in different, on social media. It happens in different places, right? Communities, whatever, right? And what's funny is that if you go there and you do this thing, everything that you're seeing is confirming what you believe in, right? Like, if you think this way, that all women are cheaters, you're going to specifically places which say that. So this is just like, what you're doing is, like, you're just going there. Like, this is funny, right? That if you actually do that, it's gonna, like, even if you're someone who might not actually think that way, it kind of will make you feel that way, because that kind of happened to me. I was able to observe it, so obviously I didn't think that way, but it kind of made me feel that way, and I was surprised. So someone who doesn't even think like that, it kind of made me feel that way. I didn't believe that, I don't believe that, but it kind of made me feel that way. And it's funny because it can make me understand, it can help me understand that a lot of these guys, they're just, like, if you just, like what you say, like, they, like, how do I say this, like, if there's a, this, like, let's say this is a picture of this a certain thing, right? You're looking at this part of the picture and you're just focusing on this picture, you're not looking at the whole picture. So you're going to say this is just the reality. You understand what I mean? So the reality is, there are women who will cheat, there are women who will not cheat, but you're going to believe all women are cheaters, and you will go to communities or just, YouTube videos, and you will see in the comments that, all these guys are complaining about women and just saying things like that. And this is just confirmation for you. Now, this is a confirmation for you. Now, what you're reading is not wrong. It's not false. It is true that women cheat, but certain women cheat. But what you're reading, what you're seeing is all of that. Like, what you're reading is just all of these guys talking about, either they're complaining about women, or, something related to that. Or if it's cheating, they're going to talk about, or, my woman cheated on me, blah blah blah, stuff like that. My woman, the person that I was with, that they cheated on me, right? They'll be saying things like that. And because you're seeing all of these people talk about it, you will think everyone is like this. And this can happen, this exact thing you can feel in different ways. And not this, like, basically, like, but like something else you feel, and then you go to a certain community and people talk a certain way about certain thing, you will start to feel that way. Like, yeah, I think you can get the idea of what I'm talking about. So I hope this makes sense, right? Because the way I look at it, if a, like, I don't like, I mean, I understand, I totally understand, there are certain kind of women who are the kind of women that you should not be with, that you would not want to be with. But then, to me, it doesn't make any sense to complain about them. What is the point in complaining about them? It doesn't make any sense to me, right? So I just don't understand what's the point in complaining, because you're not going to be with these women. So why are you complaining about them? You're wasting your time. So that's understandable, and it's more about taking responsibility. And the men who complain like this are just, this just victim mentality, right? So they'll just complain like that. Yeah. Thought it wasn't recording. But nevertheless, I hope it's understandable what I'm talking about. Because I just don't like this, because, like, because the thing is, I can understand these men's perspective, right? So I do feel bad for them. But then you have to just, like look at yourself and question, like, what I believe in, is it really true? And you know what's funny? Let's say you do question things like this, right? The answers that your mind is going to give you is the answers which you already believe in, because the thing is, what your mind is going to show you, or what your mind is going to focus on, is that it is something that is going to confirm. So yeah, what I was saying is, your mind is going to look for things to confirm what you already believe in, right? And this is what's happening when you go to these, like, all these communities that, complain about women, and they hate women, blah blah blah, right? And this is what you will see. So this is the only thing you're focusing on. So your mind is actually going to make you believe that this is the only thing that's happening. And I feel bad for these people, right? I hope, if you're someone like that and you have watched this video if you watched this video to this point, I hope the video makes sense in some way. And some of these men might still complain, right? And I expect that, because, like, it's the victim mentality. That's just what it is, right? Because I can understand, like, I totally understand, like, certain women are whatever, they're cheaters, they're gold diggers, blah blah blah, but that's not every woman. And if you think that, what I just said, it made me feel that way. What I'm just what you might, I wouldn't say I believed it, but it kind of made me feel that way. I was just, because I wanted to see what these kind of like, what these guys believe in and how they think and blah blah blah. So in certain YouTube videos, I wouldn't watch the YouTube videos. I would go into the comments to see what these guys talk about. And obviously, I would know what the video is about. But I'm just seeing that what the comments these guys are talking about. And it's funny. It's kind of made me believe these kind of things which I'm talking about. I don't believe. I wouldn't say believe. It kind of made me feel that way. And I was like, that's funny, right? Because like I don't believe that, but it kind of made me feel that way because I'm reading all of this, like, you know, whatever, like women cheat or women just things like that, right? And it kind of made me feel that way, and I was like, I was like, this is funny. And it just made me understand that if you just specifically focus on one part of the picture, and you just focus on that one part of the picture, you're going to believe it. Like, part of the picture, basically, like if you just consume content that only talks about this, that women, that's just to, you know, hatred towards women, complaining about women, and this is just what you read in the comments, you know, you see people talking about this is what you're going to believe in. You understand what I mean? So you're just like proving what your mind, like you're just proving to yourself what your mind believes. Like, your mind is going to look for things to confirm what you believe in, and this is what you believe in. So yeah, I hope the video helps in some way, because this is not healthy. It's not healthy to think this way, to complain about women. And this just doesn't make any sense to me, because totally understandable, there are different kind of women who you wouldn't want to be with, but what's the point in complaining? It doesn't make any sense to me, right? Okay, a certain kind of woman I wouldn't be with, blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna complain about the woman, because my business is none of my business is with the woman who is the kind of woman I wouldn't be with. My concern is gonna be with a woman who is the kind of woman I would wanna be with. So I'm not gonna be talking about a woman, or I mean, I can talk about a woman, like what kind of woman I wouldn't be with, but I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm not gonna talk like how I'm talking. It's not gonna be coming from hatred, right? So I hope that's understandable, because like it just doesn't make any sense to me, because like your focus is on the women who you wouldn't be with, rather than on, like, you know, you can talk about things, oh, you know, this is the kind of woman I would be with, blah blah blah. And again, I'm not saying ignore the, you know, so like ignore red flags in a woman. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that don't complain about it. You can talk about it all you want, that okay, this is a certain kind of woman I wouldn't be with, you know, blah blah blah. Do that, nothing wrong, but don't complain about it. And don't, like, this hatred that you talk, like this hatred that, like, a lot of it's coming from hatred. Yeah. And again, like I said in the beginning, a lot of these men that hate and complain about women are the men that can't attract women. And I'm not going to say all of them, obviously, but a lot of them. Because, you know, let's say you can't attract women, you might not complain about women, you might not hate them. So I'm going to say that, because that's not everyone, but a lot of women, a lot of men are like that. And women are like this too, obviously. Like, you see a lot of women complaining about men, right? But at the moment, I'm just talking about men. I'm talking to men, right? And it's funny because the women that complain about men and these men that complain about women, they're both doing really, like, they're doing the same thing. And I just kind of find it funny, because, you know, you hate each other, but you're doing the same thing. It's funny. So I hope the video helps. It's more about taking responsibility. Like, you know, if a woman doesn't find you attractive, or like, you know, I just see these guys complaining about this, you know, or like, you know, like if a woman doesn't find them attractive, or like the woman isn't interested in them, they're complaining about it. If a woman isn't interested in you, it's not her fault. Either you're not interesting, you're not desirable, or the woman that you're choosing to be with, that she just doesn't like you, or Like again, you get the point. Like it's possible that maybe the women that you're going for are the women that are just not fully interested in you. And like a lot of times you might be like, if you're going for women who have very low interest in you, why are you even surprised if if they don't really show that much interest in you? And let's say you're not that desirable, do what you can. I'm not gonna say like, all that like I'm not gonna say you can't do anything, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna say that. You can do things, do what you can, but don't complain. You because like it's a waste of time. Complaining is never like, you could be doing things, you could be using your time to do something rather than complaining. And here's the thing, let's say you do hate women, you complain about them, you don't want to be with women. Okay, so you're not going to be with women, so then don't complain about them. So like, you're not going to be in a relationship with a woman, right? But then don't complain about women. Live your life, do whatever you want, but then don't complain about women. And you might be like, you can't tell me what to do. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that if you choose this thing, that I'm not gonna be with women, all the women, they're gold diggers, they are cheaters, blah blah blah, they're after your money, blah blah blah, right? So you're not gonna be with women. Don't complain about them. What's the point in complaining about them? Complaining about them if you're not gonna be with them? Because you're wasting your time. Spend this time on something else, right? So I'm actually telling you to not waste your time. You're wasting your time complaining about women. You're not gonna be with women, right? With women, right? Don't complain about them. You're wasting your time. Do something else. So I hope even 1% of the men who watch this video understand what I'm talking about, because I just see a lot of these men complaining about women, and it's not healthy. It's not. So yeah, that's that. I hope in some way the video helps. So yeah, that's that.